落ちた競合飛べないカラス
What's up guys, Talent Blackwing here with an actual update regarding Blackwings in the world. There was this remote duel YCS just on the weekend and a Blackwing deck actually got top 64. So I'm gonna go this through card for card and tell you what I think about the deck. So let's jump straight into it. First off, we have 2 Austers, I think that's the perfect number. 2 Gales, I think that's the perfect number as well. 3 Boras, you need the extenders, perfect number. 3 Simons, you need the starter, perfect number. The first row looking really good. The second row, Orochi, one of, I think yes, completely true, one of. 2 Gusts, here's where I disagree a little bit. I think 3 Gusts because he's always good. Legit always good in the opening hand. If you open up with him and Simon, you can just banish him with for Simon's effect, and then you can go for the Jin combo. So really good. Next up Harmadan, 2 of, I think yes, 2 of Chris. I would maybe play 3, but that's just me. But yeah, also good at 2. 3 Sephiroth, I would play him in 3 as well. 1 Raiders Wing, and Raiders Wing comes from playing this kind of different build, which actually can play a lot easier through Impermanence and Effect Vader, and that comes from this other Phantom Knight rank up magic card that we play, or he played. And then we have 1 Boots, perfect, and 2 Calico Claw Crows. I would maybe prefer these in the side deck because if you don't go first, these might be just a little bit dead in your hand. And I would definitely just side them in when I'm going first, and I know for sure that I'm going first. Next up we have 2 DD Crows and 2 Ashes. Me personally, I like the Gamma package here, Gamma driver, but this is just as good almost, if not better, depending on totally what you're playing against. I really like the Gamma package because basically if I'm going second, I have Simon and Gamma in my hand, and my opponent has a monster negation. I can just play Simon and they're gonna negate it, and I'm going to Gamma, and I have so much plays to do after that. But DD Crown and 2 Ashes is completely fine as well. And 2 Radiance, that's okay as well. I played 2 Radiance and it's super good. They're both Phantom Knight spells. I think, as I just said, this is more against Effect Vader and Impermanence, where your Wise Tricks gets, you know, negated, and you can search for Soul Shave. So this is maybe like a more hand trap, well, easier to play against hand trap. And then we have 3 Black Whirlwinds, perfect number. 3 Allure of Darkness, perfect number. 1 Shade Brigade, yes. And then we have 1 Fogblade, which I think is strange. Because when you go first, you don't want to draw into it. When you go second, you definitely don't want to draw into it either. I understand that if you go through the whole combo and your opponent doesn't have a hand trap, you can have 1 search with Boots. And basically that search could search you Fogblade, but I think it's maybe a little bit win more card in this build. So the changes that I would have made is move the Calico Claw Crows into the side deck, drop completely Fogblade, add 1 Gust, 1 Upstart Goblin, and 1 Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave against hand traps, Upstart to draw into Simon or Sephiroth, basically your starters, and the Gust just to, well, Gust is Gust. Gust is a really good card, and you need those level 2s because you took out the Calico Crows. But other than that, I would change 3 cards, but the main deck looks super good. And then we have the extra deck. So here it's where it starts a little bit maybe getting strange. Raikiri. I wouldn't play Raikiri, I would play Chidori, because Chidori can get over Dragoon just by itself. But okay. Then we have the second card here. I would play, I prefer Borreload Savage Dragon, but I guess this is fine as well. Then we have Full Armor Master, that's pretty basic. And then we have, I think all the XYCs are basic until Utopia. I wouldn't play Utopia, I would play XYC Rebellion Dragon, because Utopia is a light, and of course when you're playing Simon, you can't go into lights. And Rebellion Dragon basically makes the same thing as Utopias. I don't know, maybe he didn't have access to those cards because it was a remote duel or something, but if Alan Marine, you're watching this video, I would really enjoy getting an answer from you for all the cards that I'm wondering about. Why did you pick to choose them? Then we have Stranger Falcon, and in my opinion the other Raid Raptor XYZ is also just much better, because only activate his effect when you're going second, or when you're going first and your opponent drops a Phantasmal Dragon. So I would much rather play the second one and just get rid of big fields, or put a huge threat, basically like a Raigeki. They have Arsenal Falco, and I think the rest is pretty normal as well. And then of course the side deck. Side deck depends totally on where you live and what you were thinking that you might be playing against. And I'm not probably gonna talk about that too much. But yeah, I would like Prohibition here, because you know if you draw the perfect hand and they might have, you know, there's only one card in the game that can totally ruin your hand. The odds of your opponent having that card, you can just Prohibition it, and then it doesn't matter. But yeah, it was really interesting seeing this deck profile, because the main deck looks really good. I would just change 3 cards. The extra deck, there are quite a lot of like strange things going on there, but the main point is still the same going into Kali Yuga, so you don't really need even more cards in the extra deck than that. And the side deck is fairly okay in my opinion. Like, it completely depends on what you are expecting to play against. But yeah, as always, it would be great to see some or have some discussions about this, and it's super great to just see Blackwings top in general, even though it's a remote duel. So if you have any comments or questions or whatever, please comment them down. As always, thank you for watching, and I'm out.